You walk past them every day, massive structures of wood and leaf that define our streets and parks. Yet most of us suffer from canopy blindness. We see a generic tree rather than a specific, identifiable living organism. Let's fix that. To build a functional mental map of the Indian landscape, we are going to pair real-world visual identifiers for 23 giants with their exact Hindi Devanagari script and their formal English nomenclature. We start with the absolute baseline of the subcontinent, neem. Once you can consistently spot its serrated leaves and recognize the name, you have a solid anchor point. Memorizing 23 trees at random is difficult. Grouping these species by their functional roles helps turn a generic green blur into an organized reference. The first category you'll encounter is the fig family. These specific giants dominate the landscape, holding massive ecological weight and centuries of historical presence. Here is how to tell them apart. We strip the leaves down to their outlines. On the left is the banyan, or bargad, defined by a rounded edge. On the right, the sacred fig, known locally as peepal, finishes with a sharp, elongated tip. Moving out to a 2x2 matrix, we complete the set. The white fig, or pakad, and the cluster fig, gular, enter the frame with their own distinct margin structures, allowing you to separate them from the primary figs. Shifting our focus to everyday fruit trees, the markers are more familiar. The globally recognized mango, sits right alongside the Java plum, commonly known as jamun. Rounding out the fruit and local utility batch, we bring in the tamarind, imli, followed by the bael, then the mahua, and finally, the arjun tree. Isolating leaf geometry and fruit yield provides the primary visual markers used to filter these giants into their respective botanical groups. Stop the video for a second. Try to name 3 of the trees we just covered without looking at the text. Active recall is how these terms stick. Now we scale up. The timber and forest giants category focuses on trees defined by massive physical scale and economic utility. This cross-sectional visualization highlights the internal structures of 2 heavyweights. The Indian rosewood, shisham, has a dense grain, while the teak, sagwan, displays a distinct structural core. Sliding those metrics onto an elevation chart, we plot the remaining giants by their environment. The sal holds the lower ranges, while the deodar cedar and the pine, chid, occupy the higher altitude zones. We finish the learning phase with the most terminologically complex category, flowers and medicine. This starts with the ashoka tree and the orchid tree, locally known as kachnar. Let's go through the names. Amaltas is the golden shower tree. The gulmohar is the flame tree. Then we have the kadamba, followed by the Indian gooseberry, amla, and the chebulic myrobalan, harad. Mastering these specific English terms allows you to connect local ecological observations with global botanical databases. Here is the final test. I'm going to show you the isolated visual traits of amaltas, harad, and kachnar. Identify them. We isolate the golden shower tree for amaltas, the chebulic myrobalan for harad, and the orchid tree for kachnar. This is the complete 23-tree master index. You have the leaf icon, Devanagari script, and English nomenclature in a single grid. Here is your mandate. Take this index outside and physically locate at least 3 of these species in your neighborhood today. Attaching precise dual language data to these species changes how you navigate the city. Each trunk and canopy now provides specific information you can actually read.